Hey guys, Miss Miners here for day 22 and our second read aloud of this week. Remember, our question this week is, why is determination important? And yesterday we read a story called Earrings, and in that story the little girl proved how she was determined to persuade her parents to let her get her ears pierced. So today's story, our main character is actually not a person. Our main character is a dinosaur. And today's story is called Brontorina. Okay? And our author is James Howe, and our illustrator is Randy Cecil. Okay, so again, as I read, I want you to think about what problems Brontorina might have and how she is determined to solve those problems. Now, I'm going to go back to the front cover, and I want you to look really closely at Brontorina. She's there on the front cover, and that's our main character. So Brontorina loves to dance, but there might be a problem. As you can see, she's a dinosaur. What problem do you think Brontorina might have? She loves to dance and she wants to be a ballerina. Why do you think that might be a problem for Brontorina? And I want you to look again at the bottom, and I want you to look very closely at the faces of the adult and the children. What do you think they're thinking as they see Brontorina in the background? What do you think they might be thinking? And again, I want you to think about what problems a dinosaur that wants to be a ballerina might have. As I read, I want you to watch and listen for those problems and how Brontorina and maybe a few extra friends help solve those problems. So again, this book comes from our Fountas Pinnell text set, so all copyright credit goes to them. Day 22, Brontorina. See how Brontorina shows that she is determined to be a ballerina. Brontorina had a dream. I want to dance. I want you to look at her speech bubble. So her speech bubble says, I want to dance. And then the sign over here says, Madame Lucille's Dance Academy for girls and boys. But you are a dinosaur, Madame Lucille pointed out. True, Brontorina replied, but in my heart, I am a ballerina. Then if you notice, there's a couple speech bubbles on this page. So one of the girls says, she is too big. And the other girl says, and she does not have the right shoes. So a ballerina is a ballet dancer. What are the problems? Madame Lucille wondered what to do. She had never had a dinosaur as a student before. Dinosaurs were rather large, and this one certainly did not have the right shoes. But then she felt Clara and Jack tugging at her skirt. Oh, please, they pleaded. Madame Lucille looked into the dinosaur's eyes. What is your name, my dear? Brontorina. Brontorina Apatosaurus. I even sound like a dancer, don't you agree? Madame Lucille did agree. How could she not? So, what do you think Madame Lucille will do? And what makes you think that from these pages? Welcome to Madame Lucille's Dance Academy for girls and boys, she said. Please try not to squash the other dancers. Music, Magnolia, she commanded the piano player. As Magnolia began to play, Madame Lucille turned her commands to her students. On this page, I want you to pay attention to the certain word that this author uses. She doesn't say that Madame Lucille told the piano player or that she said to do something to the piano player. It says she commanded. What do you think command means? If I command you to do something, what do you think that means? And why do you think it says Madame Lucille commanded the piano player? So on these two pages, it's just Madame Lucille giving commands to her dancers. So on this page, she says plie, and on this page, she says releve. So she's commanding them to do different dance moves. Arabesque, jeté. Again, giving a couple more commands for her dancers. I want you to notice Brontorina and the other dancers as Madame Lucille gives those commands. What's happening? What a graceful dancer you are, my dear, Madame Lucille exclaimed. Brontorina blushed. On the outside, I am a dinosaur, but in my heart, you are a ballerina, cried Clara and Jack. So, although Clara and Jack are pretty much on Brontorina's side, we also have these two girls here at the bottom who kind of have some negative things to say. And here on this page, the girl says, she still doesn't have the right shoes. How do you think Brontorina feels about Clara and Jack and about how they're treating her? Because they're the ones that keep telling her, yes, you're a ballerina. So how do you think Brontorina feels about that? In the weeks that followed, look out! Help! Hey, watch your tail! The piano! So if you were listening closely, you could hear that my voice was changing. So as I was saying all of those different things, I'm reading the different speech bubbles. So no longer is that Brontorina talking or Madame Lucille, but now it's the dancers. Listen to the tone of my voice and see if you can figure out what the mood is on these pages. Look out! Help! Hey, watch your tail! The piano! I have a feeling things are about to change for Brontorina. What do you guys think? Oh, Brontorina, cried Madame Lucille. I'm afraid you are too big to be a ballerina. You barely fit in my studio. And how in the world will a male dancer ever lift you over his head? I could do it, Jack shouted. No, my dear, said Madame Lucille with a sigh. You could not. A tear fell from Brontorina's eye. Downcast, she turned to leave. Then on this page we see the girl again. She says, I told you she was too big. Now, on this page it says a tear fell from Brontorina's eye. Downcast, she turned to leave. I want you to look carefully at Brontorina. How do you think she's feeling? And the author uses the word downcast. She said, downcast, she turned to leave. What do you think that word means, downcast? Wait, Clara called out. Don't go. My mother has been working on a surprise for you all week, Brontorina. She's bringing it today. Whatever are you talking about? Madame Lucille asked Clara. But do you guys think the surprise is going to be? Just then, Clara's mother appeared at the door. "You must be Brontorina," she said, holding out the surprise. "I hope these will fit." Brontorina beamed. "They fit perfectly," she cried. "I am a ballerina. Or I would be, if only I weren't so big." "Oh, fiddlesticks," said Madame Lucille. "Why didn't I see it before? The problem is not that you are too big. The problem is that my studio is too small." Now this girl over here that's always making the negative comments, here's what she says this time. "Well, now she has the right shoes." So even that girl kind of changed her mood a little bit. So those are some pretty beautiful shoes. How do you think Brontorina is feeling now? And so the whole class went off to look for a studio big enough to hold all of Brontorina's talent. And here it says, Madame Lucille says, "Too small." And Brontorina says, "Too small?" "Still too small?" "Still too small." And then he says, "I have an idea." Then you also see the cow over there that says, "Moo." What do you think his idea might be? Think about where they are. They said the barn is still too small. Now Madame Lucille's Dance Academy had room for everyone. Brontorina says, "I want to dance." And Madame Lucille says, "Then you must, my dear." And then we have the new sign that says, Madame Lucille's Outdoor Dance Academy for girls and boys and dinosaurs. And then look at what the cow's putting. He said, "and cows." And then on this page, you have a little shoe store that says shoes, all sizes. So what do you think about Madame Lucille's new dance academy? And it all began with a dream. The end. So I also like the way that the author ends this story in saying that, and it all began with a dream. And the reason I like that is because I think it's very relatable to you guys and even to me too. In that, have you ever had a dream and you really, really wanted it to come true? So that's a perfect way to show and to kind of experience how you can be determined for something. So if there has ever been a dream that you've had, something that you really, really wanted to do or really, really wanted to come true, you might have shown how to be determined and how to show determination to make that dream come true. So just like Brontorina in this story, who really, really was determined to become a ballerina and a dancer, she started with a dream. Her dream was to become a ballerina, and she showed that she never gave up. And with the help of others, she showed determination to reach that dream and to make that dream come true. So I hope you guys can relate to this and to think about dreams that you might have and how you can show determination to make those dreams come true. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 23.